We don't need those outtakes. Alright. The text is backwards. And I can read book. By Else. Homeland. Minarik. Little Bear's Visit. And I can read book. There's a lot of bullshit before the story starts. It's just like, well, I'm gonna get to page 1 eventually. Oh, it starts on page 9. Amazing. Okay. Grandmother and Grandfather Bear. One day, Little Bear came to visit Grandmother and Grandfather Bear in their little house in the woods. This was something Little Bear liked to do, as opposed to him being forced to travel there by his totalitarian father. Whitney, please. This is a serious booking. He liked to look at all the nice things. The pictures, which are separated from the nice things. Grandmother's flowers, also separated from the nice things. Grandfather's toy goblin that jumped up and down in a jar. Grandfather keeps a goblin, and he is saving his wishes for when Grandmother dies. He liked to put on Grandfather's big hat, and say, "Look at me!" because he did not get any attention at home because of his totalitarian and abusive alcoholic father. And he liked Grandmother's cooking very, very much. He liked it so much there's 2.5 pages dedicated to him eating. That's me. He had some bread and jam. Nice cooking, Grandma. Cake and cookies. Milk and honey. And an apple. Yes, sweet! Fucking apple. Okay. Have some more, said Grandmother, unloading another entire cake onto the table. Yes, thank you. Oh, said Grandmother, rapidly creating yet another cake. Yes, thank you, said Little Bear. I'm not eating too much, am I? He said, peeking over his stomach. Oh, no, said his grandmother. Then Grandfather said to Little Bear, "Cuckoo, cuckoo. We will have lots of fun together, you and I." Yes, said Little Bear, but Father Bear told me not to make you tired. Me? Tired, said Grandfather, jolting out of his nap. How can you make me tired? I'm never tired. He got up and did a little jig. Never tired, he said, and then promptly laid down. Little Bear laughed, and I thought that said chopped, clapped his paws. Do you know what? He said to his grandmother and grandfather. What? They asked, over another cake. I like it here, said Little Bear. He hugged them both at the same time. No, really, he created multiples of himself, and he hugged them both at the same time. After recombining with his doppelganger, Little Bear and Grandfather had all the fun they could think of. It does not go into detail, which means they had zero fun. Then Grandfather Bear sat down. Now we can have a story, said Little Bear. Good, said Grandfather Bear. Tell me a story. No! Little Bear laughed. The exclamation point was a little unnecessary. You tell me one! Well, then I must have my tobacco, son. And then he asked for his pipe, because the only way to tell a story is to completely annihilate your bare lungs whilst these are fucking bears in clothes. This is a bear. That bear is wearing glasses. Alright. Who gives prescription to a bear? Little Bear ran into the house. Got this fucking long ass pipe that takes up his entire length. And in the time it took him to retrieve this monstrous pole, Grandfather fell the fuck asleep. Ah, said Little Bear, stopping himself before he said shit, because cursing was not okay. Unless he was at home, where his totalitarian and abusive alcoholic father, who may or may not have been of blood relation to him, cursed many times per sentence, sometimes only cursing, sometimes cursing in order to call his family to him. Little Bear wondered where his mother was. He was sad, but not for long. He was sad about Grandpa falling asleep, not about where his mother is. But not for long. He went looking for his grandmother and found her surrounded by cakes in the garden. Could she tell him a story? Oh yes, she could. The same story, multiple times, because Grandma is a little lost. She took Little Bear's paw. Let's go to the summer house! It's cool in there! That's not what summer is. Come, Little Bear, let's skip, said Grandmother. Our grandmother, Little Bear laughed. How you skip? You skip nicely too. What? Who has this conversation? Shut up. They sat down in the summer house. Little Bear said, tell me a story about... Why did his voice change so abruptly? Tell me a story about Mother Bear when she was a little cub. He did not remember his mother, therefore he asked his grandmother. About Mother Bear and the Robin. I like that story. Very well, said Grandmother, kick-starting the little shit, I mean Bear, could understand why his totalitarian and abusive, alcoholic, cursing father just could not handle him. And so, Grandmother began. Oh my god, it's a story within a story. How long is this thing? This is a children's book. I'm gonna die. One spring day, when Mother Bear was little, before she became engaged to Little Bear's totalitarian and abusive, alcoholic, cursing father, she found a baby robin in the garden. A baby robin, too little to fly. Oh, how sweet you are, she said. Where did you come from? From my nest, said the robin. In this universe where every creature talks. Every single one. There is no education limit. Hello, ant. Greetings. Everything talks. And where is your nest, little robin? Asked Mother Bear. I think it is up there, said the robin, who, after having falled a very high distance, very clearly had come from somewhere up there. Thank you for that completely useless piece. What do you mean, where is your nest? Look up. My god damn it. Alright. No! That was a bluebird's nest! Amazing! Maybe it is over there, said the robin, pointing with its digitless wings. No, that was an oriole's nest. Mother Bear was able to distinguish nests simply by fucking guessing. Mother Bear looked all over, but could not find a robin's nest. You can live with me, she said. You can be my Robin, and I will be your Batman. But yeah, you know that was good. She took the robin in the house and made a little home for it, which, according to this picture, is a bucket. She found a bucket, and, that's it. That's the bucket. Is it animal abuse when animals do it? I don't... Alright. It's still a bucket. It never stopped being a bucket. Please put me by the window, said the robin. I do not like this bucket. I like to look out at the trees and the sky, the place from whence I came, and where I would rather be than in your strangely furnished bear house, while I, a similarly educated bird, live in the fucking wilderness. This is racism. Mother Bear put it by the window. Oh, said the robin, it must be fun to fly out there. It will be fun to fly in here, too, said Mother Bear. And then the robin smashed into a window, broke all of its robin bones, and was never seen again. Oh, that's not what happened. And instead, it ate, it grew, and it sang. Soon, it could fly. It flew about the house because Mother Bear was clingy and desperate and did not want to lose this precious pet, especially after her last cat tried to run away, so she angrily strangled it in her own twisted way of keeping it in the house. And that was fun, just as Mother Bear had said. The flying, not the string. But then one day, it was unhappy. Why are you so sad, little Robin? I've been referred to as it for many months. You don't even realize if I'm a girl yet. Oh no. Actually, said the Robin, my heart is sad. Those are called palpitations, Mother Bear said. Sing a song. I cannot. Fly around the house. I cannot. Mother Bear's eyes glowed red. You little bitch, you know you can do both of those things. You're just too sad to get over yourself. Fucking spread your wings. Fly about the house like a goddamn robin. I've been taking care of you all this time. I'm not here to listen to your complaining. God damn it. Mother Bear's eyes filled with tears, and she soon took the robin out into the garden. You know what? I love you, little shit. I mean, Robin. But I want you to be happy. Fly away, you little fucker. It's not like I fed you out of the goodness of my heart and let you fly around, knock around the fucking furniture, and knock. You are free. Get out of here, you stupid animal. The robin flew far up into the blue sky. It sang a high, sweet song, and then it came down again, right down to Mother Bear. You trying to taunt me? She said. No, do not be sad, said the robin. I love you, but I must fly out into the world. But I will come back every year. I will come back. Mother Bear smiled. That was known as Stockholm Syndrome. So Mother Bear kissed the robin, and it flew away. And it came back, Grandmother, didn't it? Oh yes, little bear, said Grandmother, plopping another 9-pound cake onto his lap. It came back, and its children came back, and its children's children came back. In fact, it's dead now. It was very old last year. If you were here last summer, you would have seen it, but it's dead. Oh, here's a baby now. Ah, said Little Bear. I would have let the robin go free too, Grandmother, just as Mother Bear did. Oh, yes, I know, said Grandmother. We all have that illness. Hurrah! Cried Little Bear. Here's Grandfather! Little Bear immediately left Grandmother because Little Bear secretly hated women. Then it is coffee time, said Grandmother, who wanted to escape her equally abusive, totalitarian, cursing alcoholic husband, who also smoked pipes the size of his grandchild. She went into the house. Grandfather looked at Little Bear. Little Bear looked at Grandfather. Grandfather looked at Little Bear. Little Bear looked at Grandfather. Grandfather looked at Little Bear. Little Bear looked at Grandfather, and they both laughed. How about a goblin story? Is there another fucking story in this? I swear to God. How about a goblin story? Asked Little Bear. Yes, if you will hold my paw, said Grandfather, who had many strange prerequisites before he could tell any story, be it tobacco or holding. I don't really. I will not be scared, said Little Bear. No, said Grandfather Bear, but I may be scared. Oh, Grandfather! This is getting fucking weird. Begin the story. So Grandfather began. Amazing. It's titled Goblin Story. The title of the story is Goblins. The title of one day a little goblin who just fucking exists, just goblins, went by an old cave. It was old. The fucking goblin is in a jar forever, hopping up and down for Grandfather's amusement. Dance, little bitch! Dance! Hurry up and wish your 3 wishes so I can get out of here! No! One day, a little fucking goblin went by an old cave. It was old. The book says that. It was old. It was old, and it was a cave. It was an old cave. It was dark. It was old. It was a cave. It was cold. It was old. It was a cave. It was an old cave. And something inside it went bump. What was that? Bump! Is there something something in there? Bump! I'm so angry. Can't believe you made me read this, my god. Ooh! Cried the goblin. He got so scared that he jumped right out of his shoes. Then he began to run, shirtless through the forest, stepping on twigs, getting foot infections. Pit-pat, pit-pat, pit. What is up with all the onomatopoeias in the story? Pit-pat, pit-pat, pit-pat. What was that? Something was running after him. I've never been so angry in my life. Oh my goodness, what could it be? The goblin was too scared to look back. He ran faster than ever, but so did the something that went pit-pat, pit-pat, pit-pat. I swear to God, if this story ends up that the goblin was running away from the sound of his own fucking footsteps, I'm gonna throw this book. But I won't throw it because it's a library book, and you can't disrespect the library like that. Libraries before hoes. The goblin saw... Shut up. Libraries before hoes. I can't believe I've been doing this for 17 minutes. The goblin saw a hole in a tree. He jumped inside to hide. The pit-pat, pit-pat came closer, 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 till it stopped. Right by the hole in the tree. Then, all was quiet. Nothing happened. Nothing. The end. That was the end of the story. Nothing ever happened. That goblin stayed in the tree till grandfather came by, plucked it out, and put it in a jar forever. Actually, the little goblin wanted to peek out. It was so quiet. Should he peek out? Oh yes, he would. He would peek out! And he did. He was never seen again. Cried the goblin. Do you know what he saw? Take this moment to pause the video and discuss with your children what you think the goblin saw. Thank you for pausing the video. I hope you took this moment to discuss with your children why you're making them listen to this horrible, horrible rendition of a classic children's story. You horrible, totalitarian, abusive, alcoholic, cursing, tobacco puffin parent thing or guardian. He saw his shoes! His own little shoes and nothing more. Goodness, said the goblin, hopping out of the tree. That old bump in the cave made me jump right out of my shoes, but they came running after me, didn't they? And here they are. It was completely natural to the goblin that his shoes came to life, chasing after him, after... What bump? There's an unsolved mystery. Maybe there's more. He picked up his shoes, hugged them, and put them back on. Good little shoes, said the goblin. You didn't want to stay behind, did you? He laughed, not even for a second considering what went bump. Who cares about an old bump anyway? That could have been... kill you. He snapped his fingers and skipped away. Why? Just like that, said grandfather. I can't jump out of my shoes, said Little Bear, because I don't have any, he chuckled. That's how I like it. But really, he was brainwashed into thinking he didn't like shoes by his father, who never spent any money on any luxuries for Little Bear. Because he was a little shit. Not tired. Little Bear lay on the sofa. He was waiting for Mother Bear, per usual, and Father Bear to come to take him home. It's funny because no one knows where Mother Bear is. He said to himself, I am not tired. I can shut my eyes, but I will not go to sleep. I am not tired at all. See, when Little Bear gets to college, he's going to realize that thinking, I'm just going to take a 10-minute nap, will actually result in him sleeping through 4 of his classes, one of which contained an exam. He shut his eyes. He heard a door open. He thought he heard Mother Bear, but he definitely heard Father Bear say hello to grandmother and grandfather. Then he heard light arguing as his grandparents demanded to know where their daughter was. He heard them all come to the sofa, but he did not open his eyes. He was used to pretending to sleep when Father Bear came into his room. Father Bear was very angry all the time, and it was better if Little Bear pretended to be asleep. "Ah," said Mother Bear, "he is sleeping. How sweet he is." Little Bear then woke up from his twisted dream, where Mother Bear was still missing. Father Bear picked him up and said, "Yes, he is a fine little cub. Tomorrow I will take him fishing." "You better fucking bring him back," said Grandfather. "I don't want to find him in the river, and the next day I will put you in the goblin jar." Father Bear was not afraid of the goblin jar. "Look at him," said Grandmother, piling 4 more cakes into Father Bear's knapsack. "He is such a good little one." "And clever, too," said Grandfather. "Just like me." They all laughed because Grandfather Bear had, yet again, mistaken a poisonous snake for his cane. Little Bear opened his eyes. He said to Father Bear, "Will you really take me fishing?" "You scamp," said Father Bear. "Not Mother Bear," said Father Bear. "You were not really asleep." He then proceeded to strangle him, Homer and Bart Simpson style. "You heard about going fishing? You heard all he said about you. I can see it in your eyes." Father Bear began to turn into a very angry bear. Little Bear started crying. He said to his grandfather, "We had fun, didn't we? And you're not tired, are you, Grandfather?" "Oh no," said Grandfather Bear, wondering why his cane was ravenously biting his hand. "A little cub like you and a grandfather like me, we never get tired, do we? We can sing and dance and run and play. Little Bear smiled. He was growing sleepier and sleepier. Grandfather Bear went on. Yes, we'll have many good times, you and I, and we'll never get tired." "You're not tired, are you, Little Bear?" "Little Bear," said Grandfather, "are you tired?" Little Bear was not tired. No, Little Bear was dead! The end.